I've been muted this whole time? Wow, my bad. I have been muted this whole time. God. Ah, can you hear me now? Bro, I've been talking 36 minutes and I did not know I was muted. Oh, yo, my bad, man. I am so sorry. No wonder. Oh, yo, that's hilarious. I didn't even notice I was muted. And it didn't even prompt me that I was muted because I could hear myself. So I think I was good. Oh, this is terrible. Ah, okay, okay. Um, so we're gonna take it back from the top because clearly I was muted the whole time and nobody was hearing anything. I'm so sorry. I am very sorry, guys. My apologies. Wow. Okay. So we started off with the show. It's a new season. We saw Liverpool do their thing, winning 4-2 against Brentford. See, now I'm losing it. Bournemouth at Anfield. It was good, bro. Yeah, I appreciate. Thanks for letting me know, man. I was talking. Oh God. Anyway, we'll get back on track. I'm a Chelsea fan myself, so I appreciate you for stopping by and stick around. Let's have some fun with this. But new season, Premier League is back. Liverpool did their thing, won 4-2. Like I said, I was saying, Ekitike is looking like someone who has been playing with this Liverpool team for time. He was just like everything was nice about the guy. Link up, movement. He was able to go out wide, just doing his thing, and Ekitike looks like he's going to be a solid addition to this Liverpool team. I thought that midfield did look very vulnerable because you saw there was no Gravenberg in that team. And it's just it was very evident, but it wasn't even centrally that they were getting slapped at. You could tell Bournemouth were trying to target, their fullbacks. One, they got the height on them, and two, these two guys, well, not Kirkus to an extent, but more so Frimpong. Frimpong is damn near a winger, someone who's pacey, but he can be caught out a lot. And you could tell Bournemouth were trying to do that. But even that midfield, in as much as they're very technical, Verts, McAllister, Soboslai, I think defensively they just don't have, you know, they don't have what you call it. Um, they don't have the tactical, the defensive nous. So I do think Gravenberg comes in, they'll be fine. They still have Endo. Do I see Liverpool trying to get another defensive midfielder? Probably not. And let's be honest, like the midfield market this season ain't the greatest. That's why you're seeing players like Baliba being touted as £100 million. Like paying 100 mil for Baleba, yes, it sounds like good business. It looks like good business because that's just the profile you need. If that's what you need for your team, you pay how much you need to. Chelsea, we had to do the same thing. We needed Fernandez. We needed Caicedo. We pay the bread. It is what it is. So if United feel like, yo, Baleba is exactly what we need, and that's what we need to get, then you just got to pay the 100 mil. I know Brighton have said they're not going to entertain any type of, Baleba situation this summer. Look, eventually money talks. We could get to the end of the transfer window and Brighton might go, you know what? We have a few targets we think who can strengthen, this team. And they'll hit up United and go, hey, yo, so you were saying 100 mil? What's up? What are you saying? Let's talk business. Let's make something happen. In as much as I don't see this deal happening now. I don't want it to happen now, but you never know. There's still about 2-3 weeks of the transfer left, the transfer window open. So Liverpool, on the other hand, look, I think you add Isak to this team, it's going to be a problem. Let's just keep it a stack. I made them favorites. I mean, you have to make Liverpool favorites after they just won the damn thing and they improved their team. Like literally improved that team, added more goals, creativity, they added more quality overall, But I started also this video off by addressing the whole Semenyo situation. Big 2025, and people still feel they should be able to just disrespect someone based on the color of their skin. It's weird. It's weird energy. It's just a weird mindset. I just don't understand what you get from that. Like, surely you bleed red. Like at this point, if you're bleeding anything other than red, you need to see a doctor fast. And no matter what we all look like, black, brown, yellow, green, whatever, you bleed the same way somebody who looks like Semenyo bleeds. But we're not gonna, like I said, I wasn't gonna give it too much energy because that's just some foolishness that should have been left away a long time ago. Unfortunately, the world we live in, people are just gonna be idiots. So Semenyo, big up to you on your performance yesterday. You definitely didn't deserve to be on the losing side. Problem is, Liverpool play like champions, and Bournemouth were gonna be slapped either way, especially at Anfield, game one. Like, yeah, Bournemouth did their thing to stay in. And that's the thing with Bournemouth. It's like last season we saw how they just gave every single team problems. Like against Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, even Liverpool. I think Liverpool was the only team that didn't lose to Bournemouth away. But everybody else, they gave us problems. And Bournemouth, like considering 4 out of their 5 defenders or defensive unit was gone. You're talking about Kirkes, Hoyson, Zibania, Kepa. That's 4 out of the 5 gone. Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, PSG. And they still showed up to Anfield and they were playing. They balled out. They did their thing. And, Bournemouth, I think they're still going to have a good season. They have a good manager. So, look, they'll be fine at the end of the day. I think they'll be fine. Newcastle, Aston Villa played today. Very boring game. That game lacked so much quality. Like you're just falling asleep watching the game, and it's like you can see that big Isak hole in that Newcastle team. And I've maintained the stance of I think Newcastle at this point should just I've said they should keep him. Don't sell him to Liverpool. Like, don't break. They can't pressure you. You hold all the cards. He's got 3 years on his contract. Like, you run this. Like, you genuinely run this. But now it's like that situation is just looking untenable. Like, it just doesn't look like it's going to be a peaceful resolution. Like, in as much as I'm like, yo, okay, he don't want to play for you. Let him sit on the bench. It's a World Cup year. You don't want to play. It is what it is. You still have a contract with us. You're going to honor it. You're going to either be, brought back into the team, or we sell you to who we want, or Liverpool just pay what we want. But at the same time, I'm also like, bro, just cut ties now at this point. Like that whole Isak situation, I'm not even a Newcastle fan, and it's starting to be very boring now. Like, just do what you got to do. Just sell him. If Liverpool don't want to pay how much you think he's worth, then don't sell him. Just let him sit on the bench. Let him train with the reserves or whatever. Just don't pay him. Like, you look, if I don't show up to work, I'm not getting paid. So if he ain't showing up to work, don't pay him. And then we just see how that goes. In as much as it sounds wild, bro, Newcastle employ you. You want to go somewhere else. They're like, I don't want to sell you. But if you keep making too much noise and it's just getting messy, then either Liverpool will pay up or you just sit out. But Newcastle needs to bring in people. They need to bring in Wissa. They need to bring in whoever it is. If it's Jackson, you do that. If it's Omorodian, Samu, I think he's changed his last name to something Agahoa. If it's Samu, you bring Samu in and you keep it pushing. Because you can't keep running what's his name? Their winger through the middle. Gordon. You can't keep playing Gordon as a striker. Like, it stinks. The whole thing stunk today. Like, it was nasty. It was like that was the kind of game you could smell the stench from it. It just was So, do what you need to do. And yeah, like even with Otara for 45 it was crazy to me, but did Brentford have to spend that much? I mean, did who was it? Where did he go? Yeah, he went to Brentford. they didn't have to spend that much on him. Like he's not even that good, you know. For Hutchinson, I can't even see it, but I could try to, but not for like 37. Hutchinson at most is like a 25 million type of player, you know, but that's just the market now. The market dictates how much you pay. And for someone like a Brentford, you lost in Bumo, you know, you're about to lose Wissa. I mean, he went to Forest, sorry. So for someone like a Forest, you lost Elanga. I don't know if you just do what you got to do. You got to improve your team at the end of the day. And if Hutchinson is someone you feel adds, you know, some quality to it, then you pay that. But at this point, even 37 M's looks cheap. Because if you're looking at players like Garnacho, who United won about 50 mil for, and you're asking yourself, based on like ability, just Hutchinson and Garnacho, it just feels like there's a gap in quality. But even Garnacho is being touted for 50. We want to pay 30. Hutchinson for 37, kind of wild. But it's like you just got to charge it to the game. You know what I mean? It's just one of those. You charge it to the game and you keep it pushing. But Utara for 45 M's, yeah, that was bad business. It wasn't worth it. I don't think it was needed, honestly. But yeah, back to Newcastle. They need to get forwards in. They need to get a striker in, or else it's problems. You're in the Champions League, bro. You can't go into the Champions League. Like I don't expect them to go far in the Champions League. I'll be so honest, but at least show up and compete. You understand what I mean? Get some points, like you know the coefficient points. Get something on the board. So when you're not in it for a long time and you come back in, you're still getting something on the table. But they need to get strikers in. Aston Villa, I think they'll be fine. You know, they'll win a man down at the end of the day. First game, Emi Martinez wasn't playing, so does it make a big difference? Maybe, maybe not, you know. Because if Martinez is playing, you know, I think one of the biggest things a good goalkeeper does for you is it lets you be able to push up, right? So Martinez is in, they're very comfortable with his shot stop, and so they can go, all right, we'll push the defensive line up a little bit, we'll push the midfield up a little bit, and then we'll push the strikers up. That kind of gives you, you know, more control sometimes, if anything. Without a good goalkeeper, you have to drop that line back a bit, and it can mess with you know how you want to play. So he's going to be missing another 2 games, but 0-0, not the worst result. Brighton, Fulham 1-1. Again, one of those games where you could have predicted a 1-0 draw for some people. Fulham are going to be okay. Brighton are going to be okay, but see now there's going to be a lot of Brighton hate watches sometimes, or maybe not even hate watches, just United fans are going to be watching a lot of Brighton games. Baleba wants to go to United. You can see it. Him posting, I'm a Baleba on Instagram. You know, you could tell like look, Onana's there, Mbumo is there. Those are his, you know, national team colleagues. United is going to be a team that still has pull, regardless of where they finish. I mean, look at the market they just had. So for someone like a Baleba, if you go to Man United, your brand goes up, the amount of people that watch you go up, even for your personal like social media stuff goes up. You can get paid out of that, and you get more money from United. You get more exposure, you know, and you're still going to be playing week in, week out. You're going to be playing with, you know, obviously some more quality because you look at this United team, and as much as they weren't great last season, you can't, you know, categorically say like Brighton's team is better than United's. If you go player for player for player, position for position, United have better players. So you add Baleba to this team, and all of a sudden, you're looking at United going, okay, you finish what? Wherever you finish, but now you can really push for like the top 6, top 7 positions, potentially top 5. Who knows? You know, but I don't think Baleba is going to happen for the economy. And Brighton are going to be very. We've dealt with Brighton. Like the guy who came out, was it the CEO saying Chelsea are like my favorite customers? I like dealing with Chelsea because he knows he gets what he wants. Brighton don't fold when it comes to price. They don't fold because they know, okay, you don't want to pay it. Chelsea will come back next season. Don't worry, I'll get to the I'll build the lineup once I get to the Chelsea section. I want to get these other games out the way, and then we can build it. I also have the link in the what you call it, in the comments. So if you want to jump on as well, please feel free. But definitely, I got you. But yeah, he said, "Yo, Chelsea are my favorite customers," and he knows if I don't sell Baleba to you, I'm gonna have more people knocking on my door for Baleba, and he's still gonna cost you as much as he did this summer. So Brighton, they're chilling, bro. And the funny thing is, they already have their Baleba replacement ready. Like he's already on the sheet. He's on the spreadsheet, yo. That Excel file, his name has already been starred up, and they're just waiting. The minute United trigger this, you're gonna see Brighton in advanced talks with, I don't know, Timothy John Cena. Deal advance 15 mil, and you're like, oh yeah, yep, Baleba sorted already. And then they'll sell him again the following summer for 80 mil. That's just what Brighton do. It's just that's their business. So I think they'll be fine either way. Sunderland today slapped up West Ham. And Graham Porter, when he came to Chelsea, like I was saying, he was the guy that was being mentioned for the bigger type of jobs, the Spurs. People always said he could go to like a Spurs, he could go to, one of those like I guess technically from Brighton, the best you could do is Tottenham. And then you probably go up to like, I don't know, a Chelsea, a Man United, because we're all still in that space of, moving with not as renowned managers and coaches. So from Brighton, you could tell maybe the next progression was going to be a Spurs, and then maybe do a year or two there, kill it, and then move to the big ones. Obviously, he got fast tracked to the Chelsea job, and in as much as like his structure was good, the system was creating chances. We just didn't score enough goals. We did not score a lot of goals. So now you give him a West Ham team that is arguably worse than the Chelsea team he inherited. And it's like, yo, it's going to be a disaster. Even when he was a coach of Brighton, they were a nice, fun team to watch, but they didn't score a lot of goals either. So Graham Porter is just like, he gets the basics right, but it's the finishing that just doesn't happen. And it's just, this West Ham team needs to be adding some quality from somewhere. I said one of the most ambitious things they could have did was maybe look to get someone like a Joao Felix, a Jadon Sancho, those level type of players. Like at this point, there's not much you could lose out of trying to be ambitious enough. Because now Paqueta is looking like he wants to go. Kudus already left. You only got Bowen. Bowen can hold and carry you solo. It's going to be impossible. Like the summer when they went crazy with Fulcrook, Somerville, did they bring in Alvarez as well? Like they made some serious signings and we went, oh, yo, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of Somerville. Pause. I'll take a little bit of this, Yeah, this player could be on my team. But it's like, now look at them. It's just, I don't know, man. They're gonna struggle. I didn't put them in my team to be relegated, but with the way Sunderland was moving to them, I'm like, I still don't think they get relegated, but they need to do some serious work. They need to do some soul searching, and they need to do something. Like they need to add some quality from somewhere. I don't know where you're gonna go. I'm not a scout, so I can't tell you that. You got people who do that for you. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, They need to do some soul searching. But let's go to tomorrow's game. Let's go to tomorrow's game. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. We heard the news. We already obviously know Cole out for the season. We already also know Tosin is out. So now, how do we build this team? Maresca has said we need center backs. We need a center back because Colwell is very important to my system, the way I like to play, especially in that central center back role. Now we're down two people. The two people who could actually play that role are out. uh anyway, he said fine, I'll stay. I appreciate that, yo. You're funny as hell. But yeah, the two people who can actually play that role are out. So it's like we do need people to come in and fill in. But yo, for like the next 2 weeks, we low key might need to go in that market and see who can come in for that role. But let's build this team. Let me share my screen. I have the what you call it. I have this lined up. Okay, let's share this. So let's see who can potentially start for us. Besides those two, Fafana, is Fafana ready to start after being out for so long? All right, who would I sign? I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of options. You know, he come. What's his name? He Campier from Leverkusen. He's one guy that his name has been mentioned a lot. Um, Worst case scenario, that might be someone you could look at. Gay he is my thing with Gay he is at this point I'll take Gay because I just got nobody else. But I've always said I don't think Gay is a massive upgrade on that's his name, Hincampe. Him. I don't think Gay is a massive upgrade on like your Tosins and your Chalobas. I think he's an upgrade, but I'm talking by like a little bit of distance. That's about it. So I think Sam Jewell, Win Stanley, Stewart, these guys got to go to the drawing board and see who they're gonna sign for that role. Because bro, we need it. Because it just shows if Tolson is out, we're screwed. You do have Josh who could play. You have Chalaba. See, Chalaba ain't the center back profile. Never play him there, and don't do that with Fafana either. Because we've seen these guys play that role and it's been not great. But the person that could potentially do that to a certain level is Badiashile, but he's very inconsistent and is injury prone. Ansel Milno, we've not seen. So it's like at this point, you just got to go with Josh in that position. And then in the next couple of weeks, just try to bring somebody in quick. You understand what I mean? I just don't know who we can sign, but what's the Inter Milan player's name that is also being Bastoni? Bastoni is also another one that has been thrown out there, and it's just, bro, the center back market right now is just disgusting. If anything, a cheeky one that you could probably look at, and I know how people don't like to shop at Brighton, but fam, you might have to go look at Van Hecke or something like that. You know what I mean? You might have to go look at somebody like that. Clearly, from our experience with Brighton, we don't we don't lose. You know what I mean? We've literally gone 4 for 4 with Brighton, like 4 for 4 right now. We so I don't know. Um, there's another one. Is it Hibeiro? I don't remember the name, but he's someone that has been mentioned as well. That should be looked at. So it's just I don't know, man. The center back market, it ain't the greatest. But in goal tomorrow, we know it's going to be Sanchez. And I think you did miss it when I was talking about the whole Donnarumma situation where would I take Donnarumma in this team? Absolutely. I would take Donnarumma in this team because I think you bring in Donnarumma, you improve this team. I'm sorry, he's not good with his feet. Yes, he's being discarded from PSG. Yes, But the guy that came in for PSG, he don't look no better either. Chevalier, whatever his name is. Like, I'm sorry. Donnarumma comes in and when it comes to shot stopping, you good. In this team, you have people who can play from that that first phase. Lavia could do that job for you exquisitely. Andre Santos can do it. Caicedo can do it. And Enzo Fernandez can do it. So you got 4 people who can build up your play. So you could really do it. You could run it with Donnarumma. Right center back tomorrow. Yo, low key, we ain't really got a choice. So it might have to be Reese. Reese is gonna have to captain for me, has to play that first game of the season. So I might have to run it with Reese. This position right here, this is where for me, we have to go with Josh Achampong because we just have nobody. You know, Achampong is if Josh is not here, oh, there we go. So you might just have to run it with Josh. On this side, you go with Chalobah because again, that's just who we have. I don't know. Look, I think that Vega ship has sailed. They're not bringing Vega back into this team unless for some reason they do the whole situation with Chalobah. We just use him and just keep using him. That's literally the only way I think it makes sense. Midfield, it's going to be Caicedo. It's going to be the general himself. The best midfielder in the Prem right now. Nobody could talk to him. It's Cucurella, one of the best fullbacks in world football. Yes, I said it. And it's not even, this is not even being like partial or just being, you know, it's just Cucurella is just one of the best left backs in this league and in the world. It's just really that simple. See, over here, I think Neto starts for me. I think Esteval, yes, will have his moment. Wait, why is this? Esteval will have his moment, but I think for me, just first game of the season at Stamford Bridge, I really wouldn't be surprised if Maresca plays Esteval over there and does Esteval here, Neto over here. But I think for for the sake of like what I think Neto starts. Neto has been excellent. Club World Cup, excellent. Post Club World Cup, excellent. I think he starts. You got Enzo on this side. And now you don't hear nothing about Enzo Fernandez's price tag. This, I'm going to go Gittins. Gittins is one of those guys I think is going to surprise a lot of people this year. Like, the guy is pacey as hell. And one thing I've noticed, even just watching like his, I would be surprised too. But I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Like, Maresca is a madman, bro. So I would not be surprised if he starts Esteval. But I think this looks the most likely team to play. And here, of course, Joao Pedro. It's got to be Joao Pedro. Where you at? There we go. And I think this is a team that really starts tomorrow. Would I be surprised to see any kind of changes to this team? Not really. But I was going to make a point on Gittins. Like, he just looks like someone who's humble and just knows what he could do. You understand what I mean? He just looks like, you know, when Conte was just one of those guys who looked almost like shy at times, but he was a beast when it just came to doing his thing. I have that feeling with Gittins. I don't know why. It's just one of those guys. I just feel like he's going to look like, you know, he don't really say much, doesn't really show much emotion, but he's going to beat his man every time he gets as a winger. And this is why we damn near were trying to get this deal done in time for the Club World Cup, and Borussia Dortmund just wouldn't let us do it. You know, and yes, there were times when Reece James used to play left back. We used to even have Gusta play left back, but now we don't have to. You got Cucurella, you got Hato who could play that role. But tomorrow, this looks the most likely starting 11, because then if Tosin was available, Tosin would have just played in that Josh role. And look, we wanted to sign Hoyson from Bournemouth. and it was going to cost us a lot of money. If you really think Josh has the talent, you know, yo, be easy, bro. Have a good night. I know. It's like 1:30 over there. What time is it now? Yes, 8:36. Defo, please. I'll catch you back in the next videos, man. Appreciate you for stopping by. Um, but yeah, he's not. But it's like, who else do you really play? If it's not Josh, then you're either going to have to move Chaloba to this position. You're gonna have to move Josh. So you might have to do something like this. This probably isn't the best thing you could do when it comes to this game, because Chaloba could deal with Mateta, obviously aerially, or you just go with Anselmino. We haven't seen much of Anselmino. Would he be strong enough for Mateta? Probably not. And to be real, bro, there's not a lot of center backs in the league that are going to be strong enough for Mateta. Mateta is a strong guy. Like, he is physical, like old school battering ram type of forward. Mad physical for no reason. And he always puts it on you as a defender. Again, pause on that. But other than that, this is all we got. But the problem with this is Chaloba as our center back building up our play is a bad idea. It's just not a great idea. And I just don't know who else we can play. If Tosin was here, we would not have this problem. Nah. See, playing James and now, like, I think it's one thing, being strong and then playing the center back role. Like, James, absolutely, like, physical as well. But James ain't tall enough. And he just doesn't, it's just not the same. At least, see, the thing with Josh is, right, between him and Chaloba, he's the better one on the ball. And let's face it, we're going to have the ball a lot tomorrow, hopefully, right? The theory is we're going to have possession a lot. So Palace are going to have to be trying to get the ball back off of us. Yes, they might go long a few times, but Josh is like 6'4", 6'5". Kid is tall, and he just, look, this is one of those being thrown into the fire. It's a baptism of fire. This is where it makes you. You want to make a name for yourself. You want to build a name for yourself at this club. Bro, these are kind of the challenges. Then this is just what you got to do. But then we don't know much about, like, I don't know much about Elise's brother from the academy. Not a lot of people potentially even know much about him. So then that will also be his first involvement in this team. And you're asking someone who's never played any type of professional football for us to go against Mateta. You're just asking for trouble. So if anything, you could just have Josh be on Mateta, and then you could kind of have James, Chaloba just cleaning up. You know what I mean? It's just, look, tomorrow, whoever we played, Mateta was going to be having potentially that physical battle with them. But I think Josh, he could potentially deal with that. But also, we're going to have a lot of the ball, so I don't expect, Palace to be dominant like that. Eze might not play tomorrow. Potentially he could. But even if Eze is playing in this game, bro, he's already thinking about his move to Spurs. He wouldn't want to get hurt in this game and jeopardize that move. It will probably be a better thing if they don't play him at all. Because if you play someone like an Eze in this team and he knows his move is so close, bro, I'm not going to give you 100%. We saw that with Noni when he was about to go to Arsenal. He was not, bro, he was checked out. Checked out. Like, even Eze, you could tell he wanted to play the Community Shield, win it, and then decide, okay, what do I want to do with my career moving forward? Because Arsenal are looking at him, Spurs are looking at him, but it looks like potentially it's just going to be Spurs. So this is the team I think is going to play. I expect Palmer to be on it tomorrow. I expect him to just be like beasting. I think Palmer this season, my prediction for him is that Palmer still gets you anywhere between 16 to 19 Prem goals, right? I think Palmer gets you 16 to 19 Prem goals, but he gets you in the Prem maybe another like 14 to 15 assists. I think that's just the feeling I get with Palmer. I think he unlocks that part of his game of like just playmaking. Like, yes, he's going to be clinical. You know him from damn near drifting in from the left into centrally, those finesse finishes, just like he did against PSG. Palmer's going to score a lot of these goals. But I think he would who turn Millie Bright into a guy and player. I don't even know who that is, but I'm going to take your word that she's good enough. But nah, Mateta will still eat, Millie Bright for breakfast, man. Mateta's a beast, bro. He's a bully. He plays that bully ball. You know what I mean? So I'll just and you know what it is? You play Josh in that role, and if he gets battered, he gets done dirty, then at least Maresca can still make excuse me, his case to the board. Bro, this is all I got. Like, I need you to get me a center back. So this could actually be a blessing in disguise where for some reason, if Josh has a terrible game, hopefully we still win though. That's my thing. But the manager could go and be like, yo, all right, you saw that performance. Josh is too young. He's not ready. I need you to bring me somebody ASAP. And this is where you're starting to look at that Thiago Silva, when he came in, he was like, what, 30, 35, 34? You look at that type of profile for a good center back who can fill in, not get paid a lot, still be a good bench option when these other guys return. Or you go for more proven guys and we just get better either way. But I think this could be a potential win-win situation. The only way this is a lose-lose is if we just lose tomorrow's game. If Josh has a crazy game against Mateta, that's only going to build his confidence anyway. Now we know, okay, you passed the Mateta test. All right, bro, you might be ready. And if you're trying to be signing players like Hoyson, Josh just has the same amount of, talent that could be nurtured into that. Now you're saving yourself 50, 60 M's. You're sticking with Josh. You bring Ansumino in when you're winning comfortably. Like if this game tomorrow is like 3-0, 4-0, with like 15 minutes to go, you can bring in Anselmino, give him his debut, and see what he also looks like in that role. But I think you're looking at players like Caicedo, Reece James, even Chaloba, Enzo, Palmer, Joao Pedro, and Neto. These guys are locked in. So tomorrow I'm expecting minimum 3 goals. And then I'm going to now we just see who creates for Palace. Like I said, I don't think Eze is going to be up for it. I genuinely don't think so. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this game plays out tomorrow. But I expect us to win. My prediction for tomorrow, I'm gonna go 4-1. Like that's a bold prediction, but I think 4-1. We win this game 4-1 for sure. Yeah. I think we win this game 4-1. My goal scorers, obviously, I'm gonna hope Joao Pedro gets a double or at least gets one. I'm gonna go Palmer. I'm actually gonna go Gittins to either get a goal or assist. So, and Neto to get a goal or assist in this game. So basically, I'm looking at my front 5 to either get goals or assists. I'm not gonna say who's who, but I expect any of those 5 to get a goal or assist. And I think we should win this game 4-1. Probably 4-0 if it's a really comfortable day, honestly. But I think we've just reached a level where everyone is just locked the fuck in. Like these guys are just locked in. So I think we're going to be all right. You understand what I mean? I think 4-1. And then now we're going to finish this by previewing the Arsenal United game because both teams have strengthened a lot. Both teams have bought players in. I'm going to leave this same I'm going to leave this. Actually, let me change this. Hold up. I'm going to do a combined 11 for both teams real quick. I'm going to go 3-4-3. Or should I go 4-3-3 with this? I think I'll go 4-3-3 because I want to do a combined 11 for Arsenal and Man United and see who is who. So, yeah, okay. So in goal, I think Raya starts this game. Raya starts this game. Now, here's what I think. Actually, let me talk about what I think before I go into the combined 11. I think tomorrow is going to be a very interesting game because now both teams are coming in with some confidence, United especially, with the way their window has turned out to be. They're playing at home. So I'm not expecting this to be like a wrap. If anything, I think United are probably going to start this game off on the front foot. I think United are going to start this game off confidently. I think United are they're going to be buoyed by the fact that like they've added some decent quality. It's a new season. And I think they're just going to be looking and they're going to be up for this game. You know, Arsenal, on the other hand, they've added, a few pieces to this team. They've gotten their goal scoring, Gyökeres. Um, they've added Zubimendi to this. You still have Kai Havertz as an option. You've added Norgard. You've added Kepa. You've added Noni Madueke. So does this team now decide and go compete against, your Liverpool? Probably not, right? I don't think this team is ready to win the league. And only because if you take a Partey, you bring in Zubimendi. That's 1-for-1. You didn't really improve your left wing. I think Noni is just not the improvement you need to go and win a league. Between him, Trossard, and Martinelli, your best left winger out of those three is actually still Trossard. Saka is going to be Saka, and Gyökeres is an upgrade on Kai Havertz, potentially. So now your team is still basically the same. Like, yes, you've brought in a few different faces that will offer a lot, that will offer some, just a different option. But other than that, I just, it just felt like for me, for Arsenal to have taken that next step, you bring in an Eze, and you're able to bench Odegaard. You play Eze in that role. You want to bring a left winger. And the funny thing is, like, you see someone like a Liao, right? Liao is the that is talked about as not having enough defensive, awareness and not enough defensive application. But when you have someone like a Liao on your team, you don't have him defending. Like Liao is so much more useful to any team he plays for when he's attacking. Why would you have him defending? If Arsenal had Liao in this team and Eze, I say Arsenal probably win the league because their defense is arguably just as good as Liverpool's. Okay. Gabriel and Saliba could definitely talk to Van Dijk and Konate. Like, genuinely can talk to them. You add Timber to that, can talk to whoever Liverpool's right back is, let's be honest. Skelly, Kirkes, toss up. But we saw how Skelly was decent last season, and this is just a fair based and not, analysis on both teams. That defense can talk to Liverpool's. You look at that midfield, Rice. Would you say Rice is better than Gravenberg? As a 6, I'll give it to Rice. I think Gravenberg was still a revelation in that role, but as a 6, I give it to Rice. Zubimendi, McAllister, they can talk to each other. I can't, I can't really pick a clear winner out of that. You go up front, you look at Verts. Verts, can he talk to Odegaard? Yes, because Verts has quality. Salah, Saka, not even a debate. Cody Gakpo and any left winger Arsenal have, bro, that's also another conversation to be had. And then the forward, Ekitike Gyökeres. Gyökeres is the gunman. So I'm going to give it to Gyökeres. But Ekitike still shows quality, and he showed quality. So then you're looking at this team and you go, bro, you only have a few positions that you could really talk to Liverpool. But now, if you bring Eze to the table and then you bring in a Liao, for example, now I'm picking Liao all day, every day over Cody Gakpo. I'm sorry, I just am. I'm picking Eze over Odegaard. Absolutely. I'm gonna take Gyökeres over Ekitike just on the balance of he scored a lot of goals. So now out of the front four that you could have lined up with, Liao, Eze, Salah, and then Gyökeres. That will be a nice little, combined front four. And then midfield, I just go with Rice and Gravenberg. Boom. Or you go with Rice and McAllister. However you want to play it. Because they still need that defensive player in there. So you either pick from Gravenberg or you pick from McAllister. But at least you got to have Rice in that 6th row because Rice is someone who is pretty decent in the 6th. He hasn't played in the 6th for Arsenal. It was Partey. But we've always known Rice to be a defensive midfielder. So tomorrow's game, I genuinely think this game could be a draw. I think this game could either be a 1-1 or a 2-2. That's how I see this game going. And if somebody's going to win it, either Arsenal win it 2-1 or United win it 2-1. That's how close this game is for me because I think both teams just have quality to punish the other side. So either this game ends in a draw, 1-1, 2-2, 2-1 to United, or 2-1 to Arsenal. I can't even separate it. I genuinely cannot. I think United at home they're going to be ready. They're going to be excited for this game. I think Arsenal are going to be Arsenal. They're going to try and win the game. But it's going to be interesting. So let's just build this combined 11 between Arsenal and Liverpool and see who has more of their players, showing up. So goalkeeper, it's obviously no brainer. Raya over Onana all day, every day. Right back, it's going to be Timber. I mean, can't really be anybody else. Not Dalot. Defense, I have to go with Arsenal's parent, Saliba and Gabriel. It's just De Ligt is good, but I'm sorry, Saliba is just better. Saliba's better, and it's going to be Gabriel. So let's do that. Okay. Left back, to be honest, Zinchenko, Calafiori. Who you going to bring in? I'll run it with Skelly. Just run it with Skelly. Keep it moving. That's and that's just Arsenal's whole backline right there in this combined 11. Because Dorgu is not a left back. He could be a left wing back, but I'd rather just have Skelly in that role ahead of Dorgu. I'm not even going to lie. In midfield, you can have Rice in that role. And to be honest, like, I got to get Bruno into this team somehow, right? Because I just think creativity wise, Bruno is going to give you something up front, right? So, but let me go to the striker because it's going to be Gyökeres. How do I even spell his name? Victor Gyökeres. Let's see. Hold up. Is it GY? Yeah, GYO. Okay. There we go. I'll go with Gyökeres. I'm going to go Saka on this side. Okay. On the left, I'm going to go with, you know what? Just for the balance of things, I will go with Mbumo centrally. Oh, am I spelling the name wrong? Peu. Okay. And Bumo. All right. So gonna go in Bumo here. I'm gonna go Cunha on that side. Matthias Cunha. How am I getting these spellings wrong? Jesus. Okay. And this side, I'm just gonna go Bruno Fernandes, man. Bruno. So if I'm gonna do an honest combined 11, right? I could do it like this. Okay. I could do that. At points, I could just have Skelly this way, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. If I'm being fair, because I do got to get some of United's better players in there. I need to get in Arsenal's better players in there. So if I'm going to do any type of combined 11, this is probably what it looks like. Ryan Go, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel. That's your back three, back four when Lewis Skelly, goes back into midfield. If not, then it's a straight on 4-1, 4-1 type of formation. And this is what you got. If you disagree, let me know why and who should be in there, because I still have to get United's better players in there. I got to get Arsenal's better players in there. Cunha and Bruno are starting this game tomorrow. Bruno Fernandes is starting this game tomorrow. So I think this is probably a fair representation of both teams, if I'm being completely honest. And at times, you could just have Bruno drop a bit deeper if this is a combined, and yeah. Because either way, right now, United in their starting 11 is going to be Bruno and Casemiro or Bruno and Ugarte. Most likely, it's going to be Casemiro playing tomorrow. So you're still going to see Bruno in these positions anyway. Because if United's lineup is the Sesko, I think I saw somewhere Amber was like, yo, Sesko could be ready to play. But this will just be a combined 11. Look, it is what it is. I think this is the most fair and balanced 11 that could be. So you have 5, 6, 7. You have 8 Arsenal players in this team and 3 United players. Seems unfair. But low key, this is actually like, if this was just a team, if you just were playing against a team and they pulled up with these players, you'd be like, yo, this is a serious this is a serious team. If this was your first time ever watching the game, watching soccer, and someone said, yo, this is the player someone has, and you just have an idea, like you never knew where they're from, which team they play for, and they just go, this is a team, and you watch them play, it could look really good. It really could. But it's never played on paper. So tomorrow's game is still going to be very interesting. But I think if okay, so now that I've built the combined 11, let me build the teams I think both are going to play, because I want to have some fun with that. So for Arsenal, I think they're going to be basically a 4-2-3-1. This is basically their back four. This, you just get Zubimendi here. Zubi. So you get Zubimendi on this side. Bukayo, Gyökeres is here. This is Odegaard. Odegaard. I think Noni starts on this side, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So that's Noni. Do it, okay? And this is Arsenal starting 11 tomorrow. That's like probably 97% correct. This is it. On paper, definitely solid back four. Skelly, very good. Gabriel, bro, I'll take Gabriel into this team right now. Gabriel, Saliba. I genuinely think if we had this back, like this two guys in our team, we win the league this season. And that's not even capping on nothing. If you give us Gabriel and even if you give us just Gabriel, I think we challenge. I mean, we should be challenging now, but if you give us this two, even with Sanchez and goal, I think we win the league comfortably. No, like with no other signings, just Gabriel Saliba. You don't sign Javi Simons, you don't sign Garnacho, nobody else, just this two. I think with the team we have, we win the league. Genuinely. So this is the team I expect them to put out. And like I said, this game is going to be tight. I think it's going to be either be a draw or a narrow win. Do I not see goals in this game? It's going to be tough not to see any kind of goals in this game. I'll be so real. Like this game, there's going to be goals in it. It's just who scores most of it to win it or who doesn't. Let's build United's team really quickly and get up out of here. Onana. Okay. Actually, United are going to play a 3-4-3. That's it. Pretty much. Yep. Delict. Where are the center backs tomorrow? Who's available? Okay, so Luke Shaw is definitely going to play this role. If he's fit, of course. I think Delict plays here. Delict. Okay. And that's Euro on this side. Bruno has to be in one of these. So this is Casemiro. Wait, hold up. Remove. Okay. Casemiro. Here. I don't think United start Ugarte tomorrow. Just not for this kind of game. I think Bruno starts. Okay. Funny enough, I think he actually plays Sesko. I actually think he runs over Sesko. And why not? You listen. You paid mad bread for the guy. You need a number 9. You might as well play him. Diallo plays aside. Play Ahmad. Oh, Jesus, I can't even spell tonight. What? Oh, there's no H. Okay. That's in Bueno. It's Cunha. And then Sesko. That's it. Yeah. That's basically what you got. And that's it. This United's predicted starting 11 for tomorrow. I think that's what they go with. Euro, Delict, Shaw, Casemiro, Bruno, which Arsenal are going to hit them in so much transition. It's not even going to be funny. It's just Casemiro ain't got the legs. Bruno has the engine. I still just don't think he has the legs for that kind of role. Ahmad and Dorgu are going to be your wing backs in the system. And running with your new front three. They haven't really had enough game time together, but look, you ain't got no choice. That's 200 million pounds worth of attacking options right there. Just run it, and see what happens. The biggest concern for me for United tomorrow is that midfield. It's got no legs. That midfield genuinely has no legs. And Arsenal, if they play centrally, because with the wingbacks, you might not want to go out wide too much. Zubamendi is going to be very important with that midfield row, playing through that midfield, linking up that attack. And if he can get Odegaard in business, he can get Saka in business, even Noni in business, then yeah, it's important. But I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting battle tomorrow. But like I said, this game is going to be very tight. And yeah, that's what we got. Like I said, either 1-1, 2-2, 2-1 Arsenal, or 2-1 United. That's all I see. I don't see nothing else, but who knows? Maybe someone can score more goals. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We did the Chelsea preview. We looked at a few other results, looking how the Prem is really going to be shaping up really nicely. And, it's exciting. It's a new season, and the content is going to keep coming in. I apologize because for 30 minutes of this video, my mic wasn't on. My mic was not on at all. So I apologize. I will put it in the chat once it's posted. Skip to whatever time it came when, the mic came back on. I genuinely didn't see it. But if this is your first time coming across the content, like the video, sub to the channel, hop in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow after the game. We're going to do the review. We're going to see how the scorelines went. If I just had to pick one scoreline for tomorrow's game between both teams, I'm going to go 2-2 and just leave it at that. Chelsea, I'm going to go 4-1. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to see if my predictions were right. But I'm going to catch you on the next one, people. Appreciate you for showing love and support to the channel as always. Have a good night. Peace.